Welcome back to the show. Well, it's almost time for lunch, but today we're having dessert first. We're happy to welcome the mastermind behind Sugar Shane's Gourmet Cookies, Shane Quillin. Hi, Shane.
Thanks for having me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. You have made the studio smell so marvelous. I was saying earlier it was hard for me to even concentrate. So tell people how you got started making cookies.
Sure. So I took a trip to New York City in late 2019. I've been several times before. But this particular trip, I decided to do a self-guided cookie tour.
Okay.
So I went to 6 different spots, kind of fell in love with cookies, and then taught myself how to bake. So these are all my own recipes. No family recipes, unfortunately, but a lot of trial and error and a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, you can pass that along, and now they are family recipes. When did you know you wanted to turn this love of baking into a business?
It was almost after the 3rd or 4th spot. I'd never seen kind of a larger cookie before, and that kind of a style is kind of a New York style. At that point in time, I kind of turned to one of my good friends who's an entrepreneur and said, I'm going to start a cookie company.
Yeah, nice. Good for you. All right, well, tell people what we're making today.
So we were going to make a New York style chocolate walnut.
Okay.
The sea salt on top is an extra step at the very end. But at first, we've got our flours here.
Okay.
So it is an all-purpose flour, a cake flour. There's a leavener, so baking soda and baking powder.
Got it.
You've got cornstarch, and then you've got salt, and last but not least is some nutmeg.
Okay, we'll put the recipe up on our screen for those at home. And then I want to ask you, do you have to sift the flour? Is there a certain flour you should use?
Sure.
What makes it better?
Yes, so you need to sift the flour each and every time. If you don't, you're going to have chunks. The butter won't be as combined, and the cookie itself will be much more dense rather than kind of a soft cake-like flour.
Okay.
So we use 2 types of flour, a cake flour, which is just a version of all-purpose flour, removed with some cornstarch, and then we use every single time King Arthur all-purpose flour.
Okay, all right, good to know. And then what else do we need?
Sure, so we're gonna go ahead and get this started first. We've got a cold butter, so it's gotta be cold, European style. On the screen, I think it says 82 to 83%. That is the milk fat that goes into it.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and put the butter into the mixer.
All right. I think a lot of people too, if you are maybe a novice baker, you don't realize that things like cold butter or sifting your flour make a difference, but it can really make or break a bake.
It can.
Yeah.
And so we've got 2 types of sugar. In baking, you can use just a white sugar or brown sugar.
Okay.
All brown sugar is adding molasses to it. What it does is it actually improves the flavor profile. And it actually makes it a little more soft and dense.
Ah, all right, good to know. And let's talk about the flavors of cookies that you have.
Sure.
And what is the difference here, and how do you get these to look this way as opposed to this?
So the reason this cookies are larger, so you got a s'mores, chocolate walnut, strawberry cookies and cream, and red velvet. They've got a larger shape. The main reason is the cold butter itself. There's also a more flour-based, whereas the chocolate chip is your traditional room temperature, and it's got less flour and more butter.
Okay, good to know, because my cousin Rosie said that you only got these types of cookies from Pennsylvania eggs, and I think she was pulling my leg, Shane.
She was.
I don't think that's true.
Another benefit or another reason why they're a little taller too is actually the egg. So usually in these larger type cookies, it's a heavier egg base.
Okay.
In a cookie, it's usually broken down about 4 or 5 things, but it's usually eggs, flour, the fat, sugar.
All right, good to know. What are some of your popular flavors?
Yes,
that
so
you make?
our number one as far as seller goes, and as far as quantity, is the chocolate chip. By the revenue markets, cookies and cream. The big ones are priced a little more.
Okay.
And then quickly after that is the red velvet. Has an Oreo buttercream we make in house and stuff inside.
Okay.
This is a s'mores, so it is a graham cracker base, marshmallow fluff on the top, and then you see a dark chocolate glaze and milk chocolate chips inside.
What's your favorite?
I'm basic. The chocolate chip or the chocolate walnut we're doing, the one we're doing now.
All right, I'm basic too.
Yes.
Okay, where are we on our batter?
I've got the egg going in next.
Okay.
So we've got our sugar and our butter.
All right.
So a big thing about eggs, a common mistake is people like to crack them on the side of the table. Even my grandmother would say that. The problem when you do this, you create the chance of the egg actually breaking the wrong way. When you go flat on a flat surface, it'll just push right in.
Okay.
So there's no egg crack that goes in. It splits right in half. You're good to go.
Shane, I've been cooking and baking for a long time, and I have never gotten that tip in my life. That's a great tip.
No problem.
Okay.
So 2 eggs go in, and then quickly after that, we're gonna let that go for about 30 seconds. We're gonna add some vanilla extract.
Okay, I'm gonna give you this,
Sure.
and as you add this, we actually, because of the power of TV, we have some ready in our oven.
Sure.
So let me get those out for you. Hold on, let me grab this because I don't burn myself. And these are oh my gosh, Shane. These are amazing. Okay, I don't know if you can get that shot. Beautiful. Oh, so good. Can I try?
Sure.
All right,
You
I'm
wanna
gonna
cut one up?
try. Yeah, let's cut it up.
Take this from here real
Okay.
quick.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo! I love it.
And so this one, for example, is a little crispier on the outside.
Okay.
That's because we're using whole eggs. When you pull out the egg yolk and just put it in separately, it'll create a softer base. When you use the whole egg, which is the egg white itself, the structure itself will make it a little more crispy.
Okay.
So this one is a little more than usual.
All right. Okay, Shane, I'm going to toast you with this, and hopefully you were taking notes
Cheers.
at home. Cheers to you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Tell people how they can find you
You
real
can
quick.
find us on Instagram, on TikTok at sugar_shanes,
Okay.
Facebook at sugarshanesatl. We've got 3 locations in Atlanta. We've got one in Pond City Market, one in Midtown on 14th Street,
Okay.
and one in Sandy Springs.
All right. These are delicious. Thank you so much. And we're to continue to treat our